how good, because I but
Yeah. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with podcast number 304, Bleeves Crypto, on comics, politics, crypto, NFTs, Jerome Powell, and more. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. And yeah, we got some interesting news today. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says he will stay on as governor after his term ends. They, I think, had approved the next thing for Kevin Warsh to go in. He is, I think, going to go in sometime next month. Jerome Powell staying on as governor, what do you think that does for the market? Seemed to have not a good reaction to it. Bitcoin and ETH went down. They had a spike in the ground at 74.9, back up to 75.5 to for Bitcoin. ETH did much the same on that end. What are you thinking as far as the market's knee-jerk reaction? Was it something that they did because they know that maybe not a lot of liquidity is going to go in, rates aren't going to get lowered? What are your thoughts?
So I think the reason that people were kind of nonplussed or perplexed by or shaken by this was really, I think it was more the lead up to not knowing what was going on. It's 100% chance on FedWatch that there was going to be no rate cut. However, we're starting to see, the data that we've been getting is just so poor right now. In terms of the things that would cause a rate cut, like job numbers. The job numbers continue. Every month we get 175,000 new jobs, and it gets revised down to we actually lost 100,000. So the United States is bleeding jobs, and then because Donald Trump filed a lawsuit against the Fed over the building that they were doing, it is now locked up, and the case hasn't been dropped
though.
Do what?
I thought they dropped that lawsuit though.
No, Jerome Powell would get the out of the way if that were the case. And why would they? Why would they be? And by the way, why would they drop a case that they know is in violation of federal law? They wouldn't just give up. They wouldn't just stop unless they were doing exactly what people said in the beginning, which was they were just using it as a tool to try to bully Jerome Powell.
I could understand the reasoning for that, wanted to bully Jerome Powell, but it was either Watcher Guru or Ash Crypto Real or one of those guys that had reported that they had dropped the case. I didn't take a look into it to see why, or to see, and I know every now and then those two, like they.
Oh, you know what? Yes, they did. On April 24th, they dropped it, which now allows, because that was the investigation was ended to clear the way for Kevin Warsh's confirmation, as key senators such as Tom Tillis threatened to block the vote unless the probe ended. So it was a shakedown, basically. And Jerome Powell, to his credit, discredit to us as crypto bros, but to his credit, did not buckle when Donald Trump came around and started trying to bully him into whatever it was that he wanted. So, nonetheless, Jerome Powell now says that he's going to stay online in a board of governors role, which, by the way, he is entitled and able to do. Stephen Moran voted for a 25 basis point cut, but everybody else went hawkish and said that there's no reason or no need for a cut. So, ultimately, it's Jerome Powell's decision. Now it's going to be Kevin Warsh's decision. So he's going to listen to Stephen Moran going forward, and he's going to ignore the other people.
What do you think?
We're about to get some serious rate cuts.
So you're like, if you were, let's say, like Polymarket, you think people would bet like 85 to 90% chance that we would get significant rate cuts because of it?
I would not say in the next meeting, probably not. But in the meetings after that, we'll probably see it, because there'll be. You have to realize that there's going to be a fight, and there's going to be an argument. There's going to be a falling. Everybody's going to come after each other. It's going to be a disaster, a nightmare. It's going to be an argument. It's going to be a fight. But then after we get past that, then we're going to start to really see something happen. So, fingers crossed that it doesn't take that long, that we actually do get what we're all waiting for, which is that give me that big nod, give me that money. Start cutting the rate, start getting people excited about investing in risk assets again. That's really all we're trying to do.
Yeah. There was a post by Ash Crypto Real, and I think anyone in crypto would say, like, okay, if you want to be super safe on something, you know, Bitcoin, ETH, but Ash Crypto Real posted, like, it was on the same day in 2021, like April 24th or 27th or something, that, you know, ETH was like 2250, and then like ETH has, you know, 2250. So it's been like a 5-year stable coin.
Yeah.
And it begs the question, like, is ETH a bad investment? Because like everything's built on ETH, like a lot of stuff, like all the side chains, all the people, like it #2 in the world, but would it be considered bad, in your opinion? I mean, I guess it has been the last 5 years, but I mean, all crypto, but for the future, long term.
You know, let's just say I'm an analyst and I'm analyzing crypto and I'm being critical and I'm not being moon boy. You know, my typical role is moon boy. You know, what I want to see is, you know, these, and I'm paid by a lot of people to fluff, you know, to just say everything's going to be great, you know, biased media, if you will. If I'm looking at it from a real perspective, crypto on its fundamental level is about to collapse. Not in the bad way either. It is clear at this point that Bitcoin is the store of value that we think it is. It is clear that Bitcoin has a future. It is clear at this point that Solana, that XRP, that Ethereum all have a future. After that, everything else is just no longer necessary. Nothing is moving. Speculation will come back. We're still going to get a crazy blow off sort of run. That we're still going to have that moment, but I think meme coins are, you know, it's going to take some real explosive moves to get people to come back into crypto that got out of crypto, because you know, all of these goblins and ghouls out here have destroyed the markets by stealing from people constantly. You know, Pump Fund was the biggest scam that this business has ever seen. So they sucked everybody dry. They stole everybody's money. They called themselves chefs. They called themselves cooks. They, you know, got people like me to, hey, do a promo on this video, on this crypto. And, you know, we all do it. And fundamentally speaking, there's nothing. There's nothing here in cryptocurrency. The only things that have use cases are actual things that have use cases. And those, there will be some speculation, but I feel like the gambling is gone. I think the gambling has gone to Polymarket and Kalshi. Some of it will return when we start to flip, when we really flip and we start to see some upside momentum and we get an explosive move from Bitcoin. When we get, I don't remember what it was that started that rally last time, but I want to say it was like $5,000 to $6,000 to $7,000 in a single day. When Bitcoin just exploded, that's when retail said, oh, shit, I need to get back in. And that's when we had that significant rally. But we haven't seen that. We've seen, you know, 2,000, 2,500 in a day. We've seen 3,000 in a day. We just haven't seen that big blow off with that big reason. We haven't seen any of that. We haven't seen it in. We haven't seen it in Solana. Solana's dying. We haven't seen it in XRP. We haven't seen it in the places where we need to see it to motivate people to come back into the game, if you will. So we're just kind of biding our time and twiddling our thumbs until something breaks.
I haven't looked at Solana in a while, and it's at 82.
Yeah.
Damn. That is, I mean, it's still the #7 token, but this was what, 210 at some point last year?
Yeah. Well, you have to also look at, if you look at it by market cap, you're going to be like, what the and the reason for that is because they've minted so much new Solana. It's so inflationary at this point that they're actually not far away from their all-time market cap. Like, you know, Solana is not underperforming. It's just printing and minting so many new coins that, you know.
What's the calculus for them doing that? Like, why are they, are they just going to sell?
It was the way it was created.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, they're $51 billion market cap. That's a lot. But yeah, I guess you can't have the same you can't have the same price with the infinite supply. Like, it just doesn't work. But damn, that's oof.
Yeah.
That's rough.
So here, to give you an idea here, the last time we had a significant spike for Solana, I want to say it was like early part of this year or last year. That was, I think, when we had the last big and significant move. That would be, maybe back to the daily. I've been watching small ball for the last little while. The last time we had a significant rally was September 17 of 2025 when we hit 253. That was, by the way, the all-time market cap. Like, that's where we are. Matter of fact, here, I'll show it to you. So,
because my CoinGecko is not working.
Yeah. So this area right here, when we hit 253, that was the all-time high by market cap.
Damn.
This was the previous all-time high by market cap. But when we went over the market cap, this is how skewed we are, because there were originally, at this time, the circulating supply was about 440 million tokens. Right here, it's 550 million. Today, it's 576. Yeah. There's so much Solana in circulation that when we didn't get the rally, we didn't get the run that we were looking for, we didn't get that blow off top, then we didn't get the excitement that goes with some of this stuff. And because we didn't get that excitement, people are not as apt to scoop it up. And then the other part to that is, don't forget that this is where the meme coins are. This is where everybody goes to gamble, and nobody's gambling. I mean, there's still people there. There's always going to be people there, but people are just not gambling on Solana anymore. Yeah. Not to the level it was before.
Yeah. Cause that's, I didn't know that's, the inflation was that bad. Like, obviously the max supply is infinite, but I didn't know to what level.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Ash Crypto Real, I don't know where he's getting these stats. It says FedWatch. Okay. So the odds of a rate cut in 2026 have dropped to 3.3%, and the odds of a rate hike have increased to 8.2%. That's not good for risk on assets. Why is FedWatch report like why are people expecting now a rate hike as opposed to a cut?
Well, see, it's not today's lack of movement was not because of Jerome Powell. It was because of all the other Feds were turning hawkish. So what you had was, again, you had Stephen Moran, who said, what was it he said? He said that we should have a rate cut, but every other Fed wanted to leave it the way that it was. All of those people will be here next month, and Jerome Powell will also be here next month. So, you know what I mean? Like,
okay. So we will hopefully, we'll see what happens. Another news, Henderson, the alumnus, had mentioned, I think 2 days ago, that the new crypto bill, I'm forgetting what it's called at this moment because my brain is derping.
Clarity Act.
Clarity Act is getting, should be passed at some point in May. Which sounds great, but I feel like we've heard this before over the last 6 months. Oh, get passed in December, get passed in April, March, and hasn't happened yet. Are you taking her words at face value? Be like, yeah, this time it seems like it'll finally happen, or is it like, nah, same as usual?
Absolutely not. They haven't been right about this at any point. And to summarize, Patrick Witt today from the White House said that if this bill passes, crypto is going to take off like a rocket ship. Which is great. I mean, that's exactly what we want to see. And by the way, there's predictions all over the place of 200,000, 250,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year if the Clarity Act passes, and that would be fair. The problem with this is that in order for the Clarity Act to pass, we have to get rid of stablecoin yield. That's what the banks want. Now, you can ask yourself, like, why are the banks telling us what to do? And I mean, really, it's because they're a lobbying company. I mean, they lobby for whatever it is that they want, and they get people scared about what could potentially happen. What is the problem right now that the banks are quote unquote scared? They're not really scared, but what are they scared about? Well, if USDT, I guess we should go back. I think we talked about this before. Back in the 80s, there was a show called Brewster's Millions. There was a show about, it was Richard Pryor, and he got $30 million. He had to spend it in 30 days in order to inherit $300 million. It was a comedy. At the end of it, he had earned interest because you get 5% interest on $1 million or more. Okay. It used to be that people would tell you all you need to have is $1 million in the bank, and then you can live off $50,000 a year because they pay 5% interest. Banks don't pay you anymore. Yeah. Banks now take your money. They use your money to lend it out, but they don't give you any reward for it anymore. So that 5% is gone. It's now 0.75 at best. Maybe you'll find a random online bank that'll offer you 2 or 3%. They are still there, but they're very small amounts. But fast forward to right now, stablecoin yields are paying enough that people could retire on $2 or $3 million. So if you have $2 or $3 million, you could give it to Coinbase as of right now. And Coinbase, I think, is paying 3.5%. So, you know, you get $105,000 a year off of your $3 million for doing nothing. If people knew that, people would stop putting their money in other things, and the people who are scared would put their money into stable coins instead of banks. And then that's going to create what they call a bank run, and that's going to create banks failing. And then that's going to be, well, and then the banks say this, gee, mister, I'm so scared. If everybody takes our deposits out, then nobody's going to be able, we can't loan money to people, and then nobody's going to be able to buy a house. Gee, I'm so scared, mister. What are we going to do? You know, that's what they're doing. But the reality is, USDT lending companies will pop up all over the fucking place. Like that's, you know, that's all that is moving the business online. And at this point, we don't have the bank charters. Really what should have happened by this point, and I think that this is kind of a stumbling block that just, man, I really wish it would have happened a little bit earlier. But if Coinbase, if Crypto.com, if Kraken, who have all filed bank charters, if they had all launched their bank charters and they were offering lending and loans to people based on that, like a true bank, this would barely even be a discussion, because the banks would be fucked at that point, because the people online are offering you the opportunity to earn yield and take out a loan. And I mean, like, that's exactly where we're headed, but they're going to fight every step of the way. So that's where we are. So I don't think that, and even if crypto does have to acquiesce a little bit, even if stablecoin yield was reduced to say 2%, banks still they don't want any. So there's your fight. It's said right now that there could be some movement on it, that again, maybe 2% as a maximum, or you have to actively stake it. And if you actively stake it, then that means that you know, for example, you know, the active staking process for a bank, I would say, would be, you can't just give money and then earn money and then take your money and then just passively let it sit there.
Certificate of deposit, you need to like lock it up for.
You have to actively, you have to actively do something with it to earn yield. So I think that's what they're looking at, and that's what they want to do. So and the banks think that's going to be an obstacle. And the White House did come out with a consensus that 97% of what the banks are saying was a lie, that it was not true, that it was not going to be affected, that if there were any deposit runs, that only something under 1% of the current assets in banks would be affected by it, because people just are not going to move into stable coins. Because, by the way, the other part is, you earn money. You know, you let your bank, you let your financial manager, your bank manager, they work for you, and they earn you 3 to 5% by allowing your money to be active in the market. That's where they get their cut. So they're looking at continuing. I mean, basically, it's bank. They're trying to continue the grift. You know, so that's where we are. That's why I don't think it's going to really pass for a while. It would take a miracle at this point. It would take a miracle at this point for something like that to happen.
Yeah. What's up, Dutch homie? I dig your profile picture where it looks like you have a green goblin and someone's grabbing his nads or something. He looks like he's in pain. He doesn't look so hot. Speaking of comics, you have a bunch that you've had for 20 something years. Are you sending any of them to get graded, or are they just like, nah, they were all read and stuff and they're all?
No, they're all fine. I like, to be fair, like most of these I've never even read.
Yeah.
Or if I did, I read them online.
No, so you don't ruin
the comic book places. I used to scan them all the time. But for those of you that are excited, Amazing Spider-Man 300.
That is first appearance of
Venom.
yeah. And in real life, that, or not, in grading, I don't know how many there are in the pop report for like CGC, but do they even have 9.8s in that?
I don't know. I mean, this is, if you look at it, it's not frayed, it's not worn down, it's not beaten up. Like, this thing is pretty good. It's in pretty good shape. So, I mean, even if you kind of zoom in here, there's no obvious scarring, there's no obvious degradation or anything like that you're looking at, other than, basically time. So, I think it's a pretty okay, but that's not it. Because I was collecting for a long ass time. Here is Amazing Spider-Man 285 with the Punisher currently going for like $100. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to do these. So I got these in a fucking order. Oh, and by the way, the first appearance of Venom was not actually the first appearance of Venom. The first appearance of Venom is actually this right here, the Web of Spider-Man. This is the black suit. This is the first Spider-Man with the black suit. Web of Spider-Man #1. Not only that, speaking of black, Luke Cage is first #1.
What is Amazing Spider-Man 252? Is that, I know that's first appearance of something. Is that the first time the symbiote appears?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it's the symbiote. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the first time he wears it is Web of Spider-Man. Gambit #1.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love Gambit.
That's an old one. I'll be honest with you guys. I have 100 of these. This is
Which one is that
#1. This is when Jim Lee came out with the original. This is the when X-Men relaunched. The Uncanny X-Men continued, but they launched the X-Men. I have 100 copies of that. I also have 100 copies of X-Force.
The Jim Lee ones, those get like really bloody, right? Like there was a big like pushback with that. There was I forget who the artist was, where they drew it and it was like really bloody, and there's like, oh, this is a lot, and there was like a lot of pushback from like parents and stuff, and like over.
I don't know who that was.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 317. This is the second appearance of Venom. 314. This is the Christmas one.
Dutch Homie says his PFP is Green Goblin from Amazing Spider-Man 798. Rare edition. Very nice. Very nice.
Amazing Spider-Man takes on Sabretooth. Of course, all of these, by the way, are drawn by Todd McFarlane, which is why this is an important run.
Yeah.
Then you have, it's about to get there, 345. And I was just kind of cherry picking a few. Here's 346, 347, 354, 355, 356, 357, 358, 359. You see where I'm going with this, right? I'm almost there. I have all the old Spider-Mans. The one comic that I was collecting for certain was Spider-Man. There's 360. Now we're going to pause because I think most of y'all are going to know what comes after that one. That is another one of the big ones. So we'll move on to Superman #1.
Oh.
This is the first one with Metallo. Just sold. It looks like it's selling for around $100. There is Superboy #1. Biker Mice from Mars #1.
What is that about? Like, don't tell me like Biker Mice from Mars. But what do they do? What do they do when they're here?
I don't know. I never read it. I just bought it.
You have a comic called Biker Mice from Mars and you never read it?
Yeah. Evil Ernie, which was a big deal back in the 90s. The Deadly Foes of Spider-Man. The Death of Superman.
Oh, that was a lot of hype with that. I remember that one.
Yeah. The Death of Clark Kent. Web of Spider-Man #90. Daredevil's first appearance with Venom.
Oh, that's sweet. Love Daredevil.
I have a bunch of these, but I only took the last one out. New Mutants number 100. I have New Mutants 87, which is the first appearance of Cable, all the way up to 100, which also includes the first Deadpool too.
Yeah, it's 97, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Batman versus Predator.
Oh, that's dope. Have you read that one?
Yeah, I did read that one.
That's probably epic.
This was a big deal. It wasn't a big deal. It was not such a big deal way back when, but it became a big deal because of like Joe Manganiello and Arrow and stuff. But the first Deathstroke. Deathstroke number 1. Youngblood number 1, Rob Liefeld.
Creator Deadpool. Love him.
And because I am him, multiple copies of the Infinity Gauntlet.
Which so the first appearance of Infinity Gauntlet was in which comic?
The Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah, because it's like
Surfer or Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it was Silver Surfer. I forget which one.
I have all of those, but it was only mentioned up until I think the first time you see him do it is in Silver Surfer. I want to say it's like number 57 or something like that.
Yeah, I have a few
of Cable and Cyclops with their son, the first father-son team up.
Nice.
This is wild. Dark Claw. This is when DC and Marvel teamed up with Amalgam, is what they called it, and this is part Wolverine, part Batman. There's your Silver Surfer 55 with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Hell yeah.
I have the whole run of Silver Surfer for that. This is going way back. X Factor number 6.
Oh my god! How do you have multiple like covers of those? Because that
X Factor 11.
Oh my god! I fucking love Apocalypse. I have a few of those comics on VeVe as well. They're like
Wonder
awesome.
Woman number 1.
Oh, that's dope.
Marvel versus DC. You can't see it because I have a green screen, but that's Superman versus the Hulk. And a ton of these, but I just pulled out a few of them. Wolverine. I have the entire series of Wolverine from maybe 1 to 100, including when he got his adamantium ripped out.
Oh, yeah, that's hard.
Dark Horse Comics, The Thing from Another World. I have number 1 and number 2. Nobody probably knows this, but The Demon, number 1.
I feel like I've seen that in...
The Demon is the guy that he rhymes everything.
Was he in like a like a 9? Like he didn't have his own, but did he like guest appear in like a 90s like show? Like
he was in he was in the cartoon Justice League. So if you watch like on HBO Max, there's a whole bunch of like Justice League movies and stuff. He's part of what's that guy? John Constantine. Yeah, John Constantine and Jason Blood and all of those guys. He's part of that group. Jason Blood is the Demon, by the way. How about this one? Lobo number 1.
Hell yeah.
I have a bunch of Lobos.
Jason Momoa is the new Lobo, right? Like I think he's
yeah. Ready? New Mutants number 1.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that's from like the 70s, I think. Bishop and the X-Men. I have the first appearance of Bishop. I really thought they were going to do something with him. Not for no reason other than he was black. He was cool. He had like everything that they were looking for in trying to promote minorities and stuff like that. I just don't think they did the right things with him.
I think they will.
Storm and Forge when they get together.
I don't even know Forge.
Storm. Silver Surfer number 29. Lobo paramilitary Christmas special where he gets into a fight with Santa Claus.
It's amazing. He jacks Santa Claus.
The Easter Bunny hires him, takes out a hit to have Lobo kill Santa Claus. And Santa Claus is a fucking badass, by the way. In that comic book, if you can look it up online, go check it out. And by the way, somebody did make a small movie, a 13-minute long movie about it at one point. You can see that online too. Not great, but Lobo Portrait of a Victim number 1. I mean, again, these all are 30 or so years old. Guardians of the Galaxy number 25, where they're fighting Galactus. This is the final one in that series. That was my last one that I bought, by the way. Wolverine number 100. The Incredible Hulk. You can't see it because, of course, the green screen, but it's the Incredible Hulk, where he meets the Maestro.
Nice.
And he finds out that he is the Maestro. Guardians of the Galaxy number 14 with the Ghost Rider in space. This is not his front, but Lobo's back. Number 1. This is because of this. These are not, I don't think these have very much in terms of value. I don't know for sure, but Ghost Rider rides again. This is a reprint of the original Ghost Rider series. And I have number 2, number 1. I used to love Ghost Rider. And by the way, the reason that I bought these was because I was such a fan. That was one of the first comic books I ever bought, was the Ghost Rider. And there's, I think it's called the Carnival, the Circus of Evil, or something like that. That was one of his opponents in some of those books early on. And I could not, I couldn't put those down. It was my favorite comic books of all time to read. So when they reprinted it and brought it back out, I was in it. Also, I have the Spirits of Vengeance, which is Ghost Rider and Johnny Blaze teaming up together. Ghost Rider in this one is Dan Ketch, I think.
Yeah.
This one is the one that proves that I'm cooler than every one of you MFers. Hulk number 377. This is when Hulk becomes the Smart Hulk.
I like him in the...
Oh, so good. Such a good story. And I have all the Hulks all the way up to 430, I want to say. Guardians of the Galaxy, when the Silver Surfer becomes the Messiah. Amazing Spider-Man 365. The end of Green Lantern. This is number 50. This is where he starts to become Parallax because Coast City dies. And back to Spider-Man. 2 copies of the first appearance of Carnage.
Fuck yeah. I love all of those symbiote versions.
Carnage and Venom versus Spider-Man. And then this is a stack of X-Force number 1. It is in a package. It's the package is still you can't, I don't know if it opens or not, but there's, I think there might either, yeah, I think it's, I have like 100 of these. So it's just like blister pack full of comic books. And then, what the hell did I do with that? Let me run this up.
Yeah. As far as newer Marvel stuff, I am a little bit behind on Daredevil. I missed last week's episode and this week's, obviously. But they are essentially like kind of rebooting. Not really rebooting, but everything the last few years kind of doesn't count. They're like, yeah, Avengers Doomsday picks up where Endgame left off. I was like, okay. So I'm very excited about that. But I can't wait to see what they do with like kind of the street level heroes. Like, do they have Daredevil and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones in the mix, or do they kind of leave them out again? But I mean, Punisher's in the new Spider-Man movie, so they're at least bringing some of them in.
Yeah, and they're bringing back the Savage Hulk. There you go. And for anybody else who's curious, I have so many comics. This is 4 full boxes of these comics and a small box with some of the other stuff that I have, which is, again, I have, let me get these things out.
No, as far as investments, so you have,
I have ash cans. I have old ash cans from stuff when ash cans were a thing, but a big pack of X-Force, another big pack of X-Force, another big pack of X-Force. I have 100. I'm not kidding when I say I bought 100 X-Force comics. This is it was one of my favorite stories of all time. It's Infinity War #1, which
Oh,
is
hell yeah.
Yeah, that's the continuation of the Infinity Gauntlet series. I have, going way back, Batman 469, Batman 474, Batman getting his back broken by Bane.
It was a rough one.
This right here is this is an annual. It's not that important, but here is Azrael beating Bane for Batman while Batman has a broken back. This is the New Adventures of Batman from the 90s. This is going way back, Batman number 403, when somebody steals the Batman's identity. Here is, I have the whole series here, but this is Batman 10 Nights of the Beast. Batman 465 with a new appearance of the new Robin, which was, I think at that point, Tim Drake. Night Quest when Azrael was Batman. And when Catwoman did not like the fact that he was pretending to be Batman. This one is just an absolute black. You can see it. I'm going to move it around. It is a Batman. It's number, I want to say it's number 500 or something like that. Like it's Batman versus Judge Dredd.
Who wins that?
This is, for me, the greatest Batman story that ever lived. This is Venom. This is in the Legends of the Dark Knight. This is the whole series. In this one, Batman fails to save a kid from drowning.
And he takes it.
And realizes he messed up, so he starts taking Venom, which is where Bane comes from. And he gets addicted to it. The bunch, I was a big fan of the Dark Knight series, so I have just a ton of the Dark Knights. Then there's a bunch of X-Men. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just the whole series. I had the whole series of X-Men for maybe 50 or so. The first 50 books or something like that. I have the entire Spawn from 1 to 100. I have a lot of comic books.
So I when looking at them as an investment, it's like I love them too. I grew up on like the Deadpool and Wolverine ones, some Captain America as well. For DC, I got into when I was a little bit older. Started with Earth 1, that's really good. Batman's Hush is really good. But for investments, generally from what I've noticed, the older the minter, the better. So if you taking a look at either Uncanny X-Men #1 or Giant Size X-Men #1, like even like super low graded copies are like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
The ones that I was kind of looking at was like kind of the mid-tier Strange Tales 110s, first appearance of Doctor Strange. I really, really like those. Do you have any of those as like an investment vehicle, or is it like, nah, I just have these, I had these when they were good, maybe invested for long term, they're just fun to have, and you're not really putting like super serious money into them?
Everything that I haven't bought a comic book in, I was telling you earlier, I haven't bought a comic book in 25 years, 30 years.
Yeah. Would you though?
Everything that I got by the way, everything I got, I did not buy. But I also, so when I was younger, and I ended up keeping them, but I don't know if you remember, God damn it. Now I can't remember what they're called, and I'm not going to go through because that's a lot of fucking books.
Yeah.
But I have one where, the girl, I think her name is Tara, Outsiders, Batman and the Outsiders.
Okay.
I was, my cousin and I were, there was an abandoned truck one day, and my cousin and I were just kind of fucking around in his yard, and this truck was abandoned behind his building. We got in the truck and it was full of comic books.
Okay.
So I took stacks of comic books from the 80s. Like it was, mid 80s and stuff like that. So, that's why I have those Batmans, like Batman 400, stuff like that. Like those things I think were from the late 80s. But that was just a gigantic stack of books. Batman and the Outsiders 1 through 18. If you remember, I don't know if you watched Arrow, but for a few years on Arrow, they had this guy called Wild Dog. I have the entire series of Wild Dog.
Okay. Because I have not. I saw like the first season of Arrow, and then I see clips on TikTok for like the okay, it's also not letting me add to stage. It's only saying remove or edit name or kick from studio on your screen there. I don't know why. But yeah, I liked what I saw. A little cheesy, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think it's God damn, I can't remember what his name is, but the guy that was do up
Stephen Amell?
No, not Stephen Amell, the guy who was creating Arrow. He was the guy that created the entire Greg Berlanti. That's what his name is. Greg Berlanti. He created, I want to say that if you look at his body of work, then he was, and this is going to make sense after you see that, because Arrow always had its underlying love stories. Arrow always had his underlying, friendships and stuff like that. But Greg Berlanti is known for his work on Dawson's Creek, Brothers and Sisters, Everwood, Riverdale, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and that show on Netflix called You.
Okay.
And he was also doing the entire Arrowverse, Titans, and Doom Patrol. He was also an executive producer on Superman and Lois. So he's a guy I think that appreciates not teenage love, but young love kind of stories and stuff like that. So, you see a lot of that during the course of Arrow, which not too much, but you can understand it is a guy who's interested in kids. He's interested in luring in children to come watch it. He wants those young eyes watching his show. So Arrow was kind of the outlier because he kept Arrow as kind of a darker sort of show, but you could see it. Flash, on the other hand, which was a better show, but it was really grounded in everybody's love life back and forth. Iris West's dad, we got a love story for him. Of course, Barry and Iris, we got the love story there. We got Cisco always had a new, we had Killer Frost. She always had a new love interest. Always something going on there in the background, because I think he liked exploring those. So he's just that kind of guy. So he's not really an action guy. He just did a good job with Arrow. So if you watch it, I'm going to say maybe season 4, season 5 of Arrow. If you stick around that long, I think you would love some of the villains that you end up seeing, because there's these, he just kind of mines, like Deathstroke is one of the villains and also one of the heroes. And then, what is the guy's name? Arsenal, which was his, tag team partner or whatever you call it. And then there was, God damn it, what was his name? Prometheus. Prometheus is one of the best villains in any comic-based TV show. Prometheus was a guy named Josh Segarra that played him. And he played this guy named Chase. And Chase was like the city's district attorney. So he was, on one hand, hunting Arrow, also helping Arrow, also going after Arrow, as Prometheus. It ends up that he's Prometheus. I mean, you can see it from the beginning. Then you had, God damn it, the I don't know if she was ever really a love interest of his, but it was, Katie Cassidy, Sean Cassidy's daughter is who it was. And she played Black Canary, but I don't remember what her name is. Laurel Lance. Like Laurel Lance, I think is her name.
Love Black Canary.
Yeah. So, and I did too, but it was the what was the one, the Black
Justice.
Canary that I liked was Bobby on Agents
I
of
just know
Shield.
her from Justice League Unlimited, like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she Black Canary though? Oh god damn it. You know what? That's not Black Canary. That was Marvel.
For my Justice League Unlimited, like there's a lot of things that I kind of like. My Green Lantern isn't really Hal Jordan, it's John Stewart, because I watched him on Justice League. And finally they're doing, have you seen the trailer for the Lanterns? And I guess one like got taken off the internet for some reason. I don't know why.
Nothing about that is attractive to me, by the way. But
The Lantern?
the Lantern show just does not resonate with me at all.
Oh, I want to see it. I mean, it's I guess it'd be hard to see like Hal Jordan as like the old guy, and he's like, not, he's kind of on his way out.
I think there's going to be a lot to it, and I think I'm going to end up enjoying it far more than I think right now. But it seems like they're going out of their way to not let you know that those guys are Lanterns. You know what I mean? Like to not let you know, because I haven't seen any green ring. I haven't seen anything happen. I haven't seen any action. All we see in each one of the previews is just them kind of dealing with one another and stuff like that. Like it's really just kind of a buddy film. Or it looks like kind of a buddy show. I don't see the excitement, the thrill, or any of that. So I'm sure we will. I'm sure because it's going to be important. Like you got to show.
Yeah,
you got to show that, otherwise you're going to die quick. So,
I mean, the first season of Daredevil, this was like 10 years ago. Daredevil, like on Netflix, like he didn't get in the suit until like the last episode, and we're like, I'm waiting the entire season for it. But maybe they do that with the Lanterns.
Me too. I was actually, I love the first season of Daredevil, but it took him a long time to get into his outfit. Yes. But at the same time, it was also kind of him becoming Daredevil. So that was an origin story. So, my payoff at the end was him dressing up as Daredevil. But remember, even when he was doing like that one scene where he's got where he's in the big building, not the nonstop one, but in the third or fourth episode where he's fighting inside like a ruined building or something like that, where he's wearing the black mask and he's just dressed all in black. Like that was cool to me. The corridor scenes that he always, they turn into one of those things, the nonstop action shot, was such a fun thing for them to do. There were so many different moments where you just see him just get annihilated and bleeding through the mouth and just being knocked out, and all of those little things that they put in as the nods to him becoming Daredevil. I thought those were really nice. Like I thought that was a good touch and kind of a good origin story. So yeah, I was a fan of the show. I love the show. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Like I would not have minded at all if you just picked up Daredevil on top of a building, diving down to stop somebody. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, what I would have loved to have seen was, I don't know if you ever watched Titans on like CW or something.
That was like where Starfire was like an adult and like Raven's like a kid, and like
she's like a black hoe, which I thought was like, I can't believe they're doing this. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't care if they're black, but yeah, she just didn't act like Starfire. Like maybe
exactly.
A little bit,
but she was a prostitute. Like they turned her into a prostitute. Like that was such a weird sort of thing right there. Like, and to me, to be fair, like I don't care what color she is. Like that doesn't matter to me either. What mattered was I'm looking at this young black woman on the screen, and she's a prostitute. She's supposed to be my hero in this. You know what I mean? She didn't look like Starfire, or like I wanted Starfire to look, with the eyes and stuff like that. She just didn't resonate. And then when they started the story, and by the way, I ended up liking her as a character. Once you give her a chance to develop, she was actually really entertaining and really good. But like, it just seemed like, man, I think you guys are missing the mark on what a broken hero or a broken potential hero should look like. I also liked Alan Ritchson. He was in that. He played Hawk
Okay.
And then some other famous actress played Dove in it.
I
But
like
the
them.
start of it,
I haven't seen
my
it, though.
point to it all was actually the start of it was when Robin is in Detroit and some people are like breaking into a car or something like that, and he drops down from the top of the building and he's standing there and he's slowly standing up and they're like, aren't you going to call your buddy Batman? And he's like, fuck Batman.
Yeah.
And then he whoops their asses. And I'm like, you know what? This is the Titans that I want to see. Like this
Yeah, that was
is
cool.
my show right here. Didn't stay that way. It got boring. It did get boring. But like I thought it was a really good show at the start. And I wish that would have been, I wish we would have seen more of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I saw it years ago. I don't know if it was, what was it, like 2018 or something?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it was. Oh god, it's so long ago now.
But remember, they also had that partner show that was along with it. Like I think it was called The Outsiders. God damn it, it was.
I didn't see that.
You'll Stargirl came out. Legends of Tomorrow, Doom Patrol, Gotham. Gotham was such a great show. Pennyworth, Zombie, Bat Fam, Krypton, Young Justice, Gotham Knights. It's man. Oh, it was Marvel. That's what it was. Marvel TV shows. I bet that's what it was. The Gifted. Yeah, it was called The Gifted and Runaways. That's what it was. Marvel had two shows that were similar to Titans out at the same time. The Gifted and Runaways.
I have not seen either. I'm unsure if those are important. I will check them out though. I have to watch the Daredevil ones, and then there's this one movie on Netflix called Apex that I've been meaning to watch because it like came out recently, and my friend said it was good.
Before asking, why am I wearing a T-shirt?
Yeah, because last time you were here, you were a little naked up top. Oh gosh, Wes, what did you do?
There you go, baby. It's all for you, man.
All right. So as we get into the naked part of the stream, Andrea Sime 4167 says, "Hey, I joined late. Do you think Dev still succeeds? I think I overinvested. My average is only 21 cents, so it's not too far from break even. It sucks to be in the position though. I wish my average was 21 cents. Yeah.
Actually, I'm actually not bad. I mean, most of it was me getting paid from them to begin with, so I'm not really,
in the hole.
I'm grateful to have partnered with them and stuff like that. But I'm still holding a lot, and I'm down on it. But I was accumulating at like 15 cents and 20 cents, so I have a lot at a fairly cheap price that's under 21. I don't even know what my DCA is at this point because I move it around. So I have no idea really what it is. But yeah, I mean, I feel, and by the way, I bought another like 10,000 the other day just because I wanted to hold a little bit. I think maybe it would have been better if I bought Fias instead, but I thought that Dev was probably going to have a little bit of a run. Tom has been gone on vacation for a little bit. And, and I'll be fair. To be honest with you guys, I struggle with Dev right now because I want to see it move. I'll put it this way. The way I felt about Dev was that it had a, let's call it a date with destiny. Like it was going to have this, epic sort of run. It was going to have this massive breakout. And we were right at the finish line according to the roadmap that came out 60 days before or 90 days before. We were at the end of the runway, and it's now April 29th of 2026. And basically it sounds like Tom is just kind of starting over again. And I don't like that. That doesn't feel good to me because I put a lot of, and look, I don't have a whole lot. And Randy doesn't have a whole lot. Clout. We don't have a whole lot of clout, but the clout that we have should be for investments for you guys that are worthwhile, that are going to be profitable. When we give you a call, then what we should be doing is giving you a call that really does what we think or say that it's going to do in at least the time frame or a reasonable proximity of the time frame that we think that it's going to do. but it looks to me like the wheels just absolutely fell off on Dev. Now, I know that that's not the case, but I spoke with Tom, and I don't have a problem saying this. I spoke with Tom. We talked about partnering. Tom said it was something that he wanted to do, but I've barely talked to him since then. They're still working on getting the financing under, getting everything done that they're trying to get done so that they can. And by the way, he's continuing to build. He's rebuilt the DevX chain to include AI. Like, there's plenty of things that are going on in the background, but nobody is tooting the horn. If you go into their Telegram right now, that's one of the more dead telegrams in all of crypto right now. There's absolutely nothing going on right there. As a matter of fact, there was some BS in there the other day, and I sent a message to Tom like, hey man, are there any mods? Because like, what the, you know what I mean? Yesterday, a guy put in, hi, please, I need someone here who is responsible for the marketing department of this project. Which responsible person should I contact? And I said, they're not going to be interested. And somebody else was joking and said, you could contact Mr. D's. And the guy says, D's what, sir? Like, come on. And nobody's modding this at all. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, where are all the mods? Obi-Wan Kenobi. Where's Phil? Where's Nairobi? Where is everybody? And why are they no longer doing anything? So, and today it's April 29, and there is only one comment in the last 24 hours.
Which is what the D's what, sir? And
right.
Like, that's right. That's
D's what, sir? Like, there's just nothing happening over there. And, by the way, the part of that was that, and I know this, but part of that was that, because Tom and I talked at one point, and one of the things was that, he didn't really want to make a move until the whales who wanted to exited. He didn't want to reward people who were just going to disappear. So now we just kind of patiently wait. But here's the thing for me, again, like, what am I patiently waiting for? I know that Tom, for anybody who really wants to know in the deepest of dives, I guess, Tom didn't like the fact that the money was based on this big partnership, because that partnership is not using his tools. The actual launch of the Dev Exchange uses his tools. So the announcement that's going to pump your chart, he doesn't care at all about that. That is not something that's on his radar at all. To him, that's almost, as a matter of fact, for him in many different ways, I feel like he feels disrespected that that's the reason that people are holding the bag. I really do. What he wants is he wants you to use Fias. What he wants is for you to use DevX. What he wants is for his creations to be used by people and to create real value. That's what he's looking for. And that's not what an announcement that he's partnering with somebody is going to do. That's just going to pump people's bags. And those people are going to end up selling anyway. They're not long-term investors. So that's where we are, and it's complicated. And to be honest with you, I wish that, we could get something going. I wish that like me and Randy were just, getting paid to talk about dev all day long. You know what I mean? But there's just nothing to talk about at this point.
Yeah. In case it wasn't clear, when you had said like, hey, as of April, it looks like it's kind of starting from scratch, which agreed, that's what it looks like. Yeah. Obviously, what you had also mentioned, though, that rebuilding the entire DevX blockchain to include AI in it was a big undertaking, and I thought would take a long time, but it's essentially pretty much done.
No, it's done. That's the thing. Like, there's all this stuff that I know about, that you know about, that's actually like
very bullish.
Like, God damn it. Like, just let's go.
I don't know. Is it public if they had done a demo for people yet? Or like when they did the demo, was it for public?
So the last time there was an open public, so the last time there was a private demo was in December. And that's when people started leaking to me all of the problems. Remember we were talking about that? And I was like, I don't even know if this shit is true, which is why I never said anything about it. None of it was true. But people were like, there were game breaking stuff and just all kinds of wild stuff that they were talking about. None of it was real. So,
there was a private demo done recently, and I wasn't there, but apparently it was like, oh, this is what's possible. So I don't know if that was for, had to be at least one investor, but it was just a buddy of mine was there, and he's like, yeah, this is it was great. So I mean, I haven't really had anything to go in since. I'm more busy now with raising money for daCat, getting that out in the next couple of months. Trying to put stuff on its balance sheet. I'll have announcements soon, but in the next few weeks. But the next month, in like middle of May, I should have a little bit, and I'll just chuck some to DEVVE and FIAS, because at these prices, you might as well. And I know FIAS can go like double or get cut in half in like weeks, because it's gone from like 900K to 2 million back to 900K again. And if you want to trade that, by all means, you know, you can, and you probably make a lot of money. I'm just more of a buy and hold guy. I don't really try to get cute like that.
Me too. I try to trade, like right now, I'm in a trade right now on Tau, and I'm up big, but you know, I'm just kind of waiting for that blow off moment. Yesterday, I got that blow off, or the day before, whatever day it was. Yes, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I got that blow off where it really, because I bought pretty low, and I was flipping it. I was using a leverage position. I was actually using like a 10x leverage. I don't use 10x leverage for anything. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I know what Tau's going to do. So I wrote it up. I sold it 260. Son of a bitch, if it didn't run up to 266. And then I set my buy order back down at 250 and 248, just because I wanted to DCA 2 times, just in case. Because I thought 250 would be definite. I wasn't sure about 248. Son of a bitch, if I didn't get both of them triggered. So now I'm back in the game with the same size bag as I had before, and it's already into a big profit already. So
could you do me a favor, and if it comes up this time, because last time your screen wasn't coming up, would you take a look at the OMI chart and see what that is, like what your elf eyes see like a lot on that chart, and what the because it's had a couple of spikes over the past like week, maybe like week and a half, and it's gotten rejected. Okay, let me add to the stage here. All
right, so short term, we're only talking short term right now. We're on the daily, but we are talking short term. You got this line down here. This was your line to gain. This settled a little bit higher and started this little move to the uptrend. So we got an uptrend that's happening right here, playing out in real time. Here's your downtrend. And then here's your, market conditions being what they are. We are clearly at this point in a massive uptrend. And that uptrend came off of a higher number than this one right here. If we zoom in, you can actually see it. When I'm zoomed out like this, you can't really see it so much. But we minted a floor, and that floor is a little bit higher. So if you take the bottom here over to here, you are clearly in a slight uptrend, which is a good thing to see. Now, what you're getting is these spikes every few days. What I would say is, so if you're somebody who's looking to do something with this chart, I'm not saying long-term hodl on this one, because you're at the bottom. So anything you buy today is probably going to be a decent investment, as long as they're doing what they're supposed to do. But when you look at this chart right now, I would be buying right here, where you are right now. This keeps spiking up here. But not only does it keep spiking up here, from down here, it spiked up here. Then it consolidated and spiked up here. Then it consolidated and spiked up here. And then it consolidated and spiked up here. This is clearly an uptrend. So where you are right now is in the middle, or you're at the bottom of whatever this big spike is yesterday. That really just looks like, I don't even know what
I saw that on is guy on OKX. It was like 400 grand in like minutes, and I guess he was just impatient, and he just yeeted it all the way up there. Obviously, people sold. They took their profits, and then like a few hours or like maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, it kind of spiked again, and then it just back down. So like the guy was just impatient. Maybe he's just new to crypto. I was like, all right, and get on OKX. I'm just gonna yeet 400 grand into it, or 500K, but only getting like 400K worth. It would have been better if he just.
I don't think that's it. I think whoever it was trying to signal people. Like Over here, you got this big blow off that you had right there. That's probably the same guy, by the way. Then he came back in, bought lower, ran this up, didn't see the buys coming in that he wanted to see. So then he just got back out.
Okay.
You know, if you see something like that happen, and that's the start of a rally, then you're in a great position because you're the one that started off that rally. So I think that's what we probably saw. The good news, though, is, you know, if you kind of look at it just from, you know, Fibonacci kind of, this is hard, but right there, let's not even take that big spike right there. Let's just take this natural spike right here. If you look at this from Fibonacci, the most likely scenario right now is that we're going to take this. We're taking out of the equation. We had a nice run from this to this. Now we had a correction back down to the 786.
Oh, yeah.
The next natural progression is a move right here to 16. What is this? 301696, coming up to the 236 on Fibonacci. Then you're probably going to have another breakdown back into this 786 again. That would cause some lower highs to maybe set in. Like that's where you get that consolidation in the range right there. But the ultimate move, I think, after that is going to be then you're going to get that next big move. Now, let's get that back off and let's remove the Fibonacci. The one thing that you can look at, and you can see kind of a clear trend line right there where we're getting a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. So what I would say is that I have a feeling that market conditions be damned. You might have a little consolidation right here in this range for a few days. You might even get another dip back down a little bit, but I think you're going to see another quick surge up into this range coming up pretty soon. Now, the healthiest thing would be for it to take a little bit of time, but if somebody's out there playing the market like that, and if you know somebody's out there playing the market like that, I mean, it gets really easy. Buy right now on spot or on futures if you want to. That's your call. Just set yourself a sell order at 302. Just set a sell order.
Yeah.
And if somebody comes in and does that again, then you made a bank off of it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the way it looks. This chart actually looks encouraging. You go around the crypto ecosystem, there's a lot of charts right now that look real encouraging. We're not in an uptrend yet. We're not there, but this chart, just like a bunch of other ones, looks like there's an opportunity for a breakout. I mean, you know, you look at Bitcoin, we're clearly in an uptrend. We've got to break above here. If we break above here, then that's going to break the trends here. And the trends here are, you know, you get into this channel and you break down. You get into this channel and you break down. And there's a lot of bids set right now on Bitcoin at both 85,000, which is where we are, or where we're likely headed into this 85,000 range. But after that 85,000 range, that's when we trigger this move right here, which is
this on the daily or the?
Yeah, it's a daily.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you look at it, I mean, you look at it and you say, you know, maybe we're at the bottom or something like that. I don't know that we're at the bottom. There's a lot of money sitting down here in this 53,000 sort of range. So market makers tend to want to, you know, break towards wherever the money is. They want to break towards the money. That money is sitting right now between 81 and 87,000. So, you know, a move to 85 is probably the next move. But then after you move to 85, if you don't hold, if you don't get a bold move by somebody, then the market probably breaks this down to 53 to 57,000, because that's what the market makers are going to do. They're going to go after your bags, and your bags are, you know, your bags are where you make your bets, and where the bets are made right now is in this range and in this range. So market makers are coming for both of those.
Yeah. It looks like we wanted to go to 80 plus, but it just hasn't happened. And then we're at 74.9 today. I mean, there was a lot of been higher lows since 59.9, you know, a few months back.
Yeah.
But like, we're already, you know, at war with Iran. We're already, like, I feel like the NFT market's heating up again. Like, I don't know what gets it back down to like the low 50s. Like, that seems, or the like, yeah, that seems like impossible. 59.9 was like the low. Still been nothing but up from there. Like, what do you think gets us back there?
Well, the reason why rhymes with Ronald Rump.
Okay, but I mean, he's
going to do
Ronald
something. Rump. He's going to do something
What can he do? He's at war with Venezuela for like a day, but he's been at war with Iran. That's cost us like what, $70 billion almost.
He's been at conflict with Iran. He's been at conflict. Okay.
Fair.
This
Yeah.
thing hasn't opened up yet. But what he said and what he told his private inner circle is that he does not intend to back down, and that this is going to go on for a prolonged period of time because Iran is not interested in negotiating. They have no interest in what he's trying to do. So that is a sign right now that that's a downward momentum. Also, that means gas prices are going to continue to go up. That means that prices for everything are going to continue to go up. What's not going up is the number of jobs in the United States. If you look at the macroeconomics, we are in a bad situation. And Donald Trump is making it, not even objectively, he is making it worse. And he's not doing anything to make it better. Not yet. It doesn't mean that he won't, by the way. It's not an anti-Trump thing. This is,
you'd think
he's in a
he
difficult
probably
situation.
would a few months before the election. Like he's going to try to pump. Like you would think he would try to pump a few months before that.
Exactly. So we just have to have a little patience right now to give that runway. I said today, I think on my live stream, by the way, for those of you that watch my live stream, I was telling everybody, this is your entry position right here, which is why I have bid at 67 and ask at 80,000. I mean, look at this. You can't play out more perfectly than this.
Yeah.
Like everybody who did this made some good money off of it. The next play, I think, is up to 85. So I think accumulating any Bitcoin right now, you're not going to get the run that you got at 67, but you are going to get a nice little run. But I would be looking for that big move to the downside. Again, market makers are going to make, and by the way, don't forget, like what you were saying earlier about Jerome Powell being the reason. It wasn't Jerome Powell that was the reason. It was the three other Fed commissioners who said, yeah, we don't see any reason for rate cuts. It's all of those guys. And then finding out that Jerome Powell's going to stay on. So now you have four people who don't want any rate cuts. So Stephen Moran is on his own, and Kevin Warsh is going to be on his own, basically. You know what I mean? These guys are going to be fighting with these other Fed governors the entire time. So that's what people are probably spooked about, if anything. I don't think people really care about Jerome Powell. We give him a lot of credit for being like the boogeyman, but I don't think he's really the boogeyman. I think it's the real conditions that make you the boogeyman. And by the way, oil was, look at this, $80 5 days ago, 6 days ago, 7 days ago. Oil is now up to $108 today. Oh. So,
yeah, that was a big one. I think the oil exports in the U.S. hit like a record as well. It was like, I don't know how many millions of barrels per week.
At some point you're going to have to. I think that Donald Trump. Here's the thing: Donald Trump at some point is going to declare a national emergency. And he's going to lock down oil overseas, and he's going to make American oil companies sell to American companies only. That's where we're headed. We're going to be nationalizing for a short period of time, at least, if they don't open up the Straits of Hormuz. People are not going to like it. Businesses are not going to like it. But I mean, what else can he do?
I mean, if that happens, doesn't he? I mean, the U.S. doesn't really make a bunch of money with that because they're not exporting to the rest of the world. They're only selling.
No, they would still be making money because they would be selling it to their own refineries, and they would still be charging us ridiculous sums of money.
But what does that do to everyone else in the world? Okay, they can't get it. It spikes for the rest of the world?
Yeah, well, it's going to spike for everybody because it's still a fair and open market. Unless Donald Trump seizes the oil and says you're going to sell it at $75 a barrel, unless it's, again, a national emergency, gives him broad and sweeping powers, unless you seize it and say that oil is going to be sold at $70 a barrel in the United States right now, that's the compromise that we have, from wherever we were, which was $50 all the way up to $100. I'll meet you halfway at 75, but you can only sell to American companies or something like that. He's going to have to nationalize and do something because it does. And by the way, if the world runs out of oil, not my fucking problem.
I mean, we have Venezuela's oil now, so I guess that's fine. I don't know how far they've gotten on the taking over like their pipelines and stuff. I don't know if they had like the equipment and stuff, and how many companies are down there.
Yeah, I don't really know.
No. Fodaubi and Andresime talking about DEVVE, saying, when Dev Moon, do you ever see it getting back to 50 cents or even $1? Are these things that you think are possible for it?
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course.
Same.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna it's gonna rally. More than, you know, me and Randy saying good things about it. Like, it has to be more than that. That's again, the biggest problem with dev right now is that there's absolutely no marketing being done. There's absolutely nothing being shared with people. The public beta, by the way, or the I don't know if it's an open or a closed beta, but the beta should be tomorrow. Tom was trying to get it launched. Like, that's why you really haven't heard from him. I think he's back from vacation.
I think that'll be May. I don't think that comes out tomorrow. That's like kind of soon.
Well, what he said was he's trying to get it done for April 30th, and that he's in a good place and he thinks he can get it done for tomorrow. So,
okay.
It might take into May. It very well could, but he's looking to get it launched as quickly as possible so that people can start, you know, breaking it so that he can make sure that everything works.
What have you seen as far as and obviously this goes outside of dev. I know dev has a couple of NFTs on there, but what do you see in the greater overall NFT market? Have you taken a look at like the punks or the apes or even the lower stuff like VeFriends or VeVe?
It's all dead. I mean, everything in NFTs is just dead.
Oh, I would say 99.9+%, but the ones that I had mentioned, like the punks and the apes, like they've seen a bit of a rally. It's bled over into little pudgies, into VeFriends, VeVe as well. It's been, now granted, like they're still all down like 90+%, but it's been like a doubling of the floors for like all of them. And I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. So what that means for anybody who wonders what those are signals for, if it holds, by the way, that means that retail is slowly but surely returning, and that people want to have their CryptoPunk profile pic again. That, I mean, look, these things don't do anything. There are very few that actually have a use case. I mean, only like what you guys are doing over here with VeVe, like that's the one that really actually has something to it. I mean, the comic book thing or collectibles and stuff like that, like those have a path forward. I told you before, the limitation to me is still, how do I read a comic book on my fucking phone?
Yeah.
It's horrible to have to do that. So you have to work out a way to do that. And I think that's technology, by the way. I think that's an AI technology thing that I think a smart person could do. Like, what I want to see is one panel at a time. Give me one panel at a time and allow me to just swipe to the next panel. And if you need to show me a splash page, every time I flip the page, this was my idea, by the way. I go in here, boom, it shows me the full page so that I can look at it for nostalgia purposes. And then it immediately zooms into the box so that I can read the comic as I need to read it.
Yeah, it does the first part for you. Like it'll show you like the page, but then you have to double tap and then zoom in, and then it's like, and then it's a little like too sensitive.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think in AI, I think a smart person with AI can be looking at this, and like, we want to isolate the frames on every comic book. We want to make sure we get this right so that when we show it to you, you see the full page right there, and then it zooms in immediately to the first one, and it does it for you. And then all you have to do is then swipe right, and then it takes you to the next panel and the next panel and the next panel and the next panel, so that you read the page. And then when you flick again, it takes you to the full next page so that you can then read it. And if you have a splash page or a double splash page, it shows you that too.
So they actually have I don't know if anyone uses it anymore, but they have like a comics reader app, which I have, but I haven't updated it. I have to like enable it. And it did do that, but it was like, it was just annoying to have like another app, and they, I don't know what they did with it. I guess it might still work.
I used Comic Reader for a long time. Again, this is why I hated it, was because it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
I think there's some smart guy out there that has the answer, and that answer is, you know, people want this thing to work for them. Michael Gazelian is asking a question here. What is your stance on OMI, and should we enter in at the price level for a major investment? I think so. Right now on the chart, that looks like a beautiful entry. I mean, I think we just said that a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
This is actually, if there's any spot you want to enter, it would be right about now. I mean, it looks like, it doesn't mean that it won't go down. Doesn't mean that it won't just kind of break back down into this lower tier right here, this lower range right here, but that's about 10% away from where you are right now. That's not a significant loss. And doesn't look like it's ready to go any lower. It seems like you've got a pretty solid floor right there. You got some downward momentum, about 20% potentially. However, what I think is going to happen, and what I said earlier, Michael, is this: like, if you're looking at it from long term, today's the perfect day. If you're looking at it, you want to split your bag and you want to do one long term, one short term, buy right now. Set yourself a sell order up here at 302. Make profit on that one bag, and then just hold spot on that other bag, because these spikes are telling me that people are coming in and trying to get you excited, and they're trying to get new buyers to step in. So
yeah, so VeVe does have, or Okomi has, like, I think, market makers, because like there's, out of like the average of $1 million in volume it has per day, like there's stuff on Deepcoin that doesn't seem to make sense. Like, it seems like there's like half of it is probably like market makers, but the other half is all genuine volume. And the stuff that I saw, what wasn't on Deepcoin, it was on OKX, it was on Gate.io, it wasn't on like Ascendex or any of these things that like nobody's trading on. But Michael Gazelian saying, like, well, what happens is Bitcoin at 40K coming in the next 6 months? Like, we had talked about low 50s, but yeah. 40K is
Michael, the liquidity is between 53 and 57K, so I don't think that we go very much below that. I mean, there's always that possibility of a dagger that just takes you way, way down. But I think that if you set a bid at 40,000 for a long position, it's not going to hit. Like, I don't think that that's going to hit. I think if you were to set and by the way, you could set a DCA at 40,000, but I think if you're really, really looking for it, 55,000 is probably the spot. That's probably going to be the sweet spot of where it comes down to. And there's also that possibility, by the way, we don't know. We never know. There's also that possibility that it doesn't come down. There's also that possibility that the reversal is real here. It doesn't look like it yet, but speaking of Bitcoin, what you're looking for, by the way, if anybody wants to do this, this is simple. It's simple tea leaf reading, gypsy voodoo bullshit. Okay. And it's very simple. When you're in a channel like this, it's going to break up or it's going to break down. It breaks down. When you're in a channel like this, and by the way, this channel right here was right there the whole time, broke down. Channel right here broke down. Channel right here, most likely going to break down. At any point, it could reverse. But the one thing that you can look at and you can see is that at no point did any one of these moves break above the channel. Yeah. If Bitcoin breaks out above the channel, then that is where the rally should begin. So what we're looking at right now is just structure. And if we break the structure, then the paradigm has changed. And if that changes, and oh shit, Tau is breaking out again. I'm gonna put this on the other side over here because I don't want you to see how much I'm making. But Tau just went up like $5 in a minute.
So I think this answers part of his question, Michael. So please go.
Yes.
Top 5 crypto holdings. I'm guessing Tau's one of them.
Oh yeah, I've been playing the Tau chart for a little while. I got liquidated the other day, and it annoyed the shit out of me. It was only $300, but it wasn't the point. It wasn't the point. I just don't like getting liquidated. So then I went in stronger to make my money back, and I've already made my money back plus, and I'm up about $1,000 right now. So I did that, by the way. I've made $1,000 since we've been on stream. I took that trade a few minutes before we started.
Nice. Come on, in a good mood. Yeah. You made $1,000. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Damn.
Might have been a little bit before that. It was 1 o'clock. Yeah, at 1 o'clock is when it all started getting triggered. I got triggered at noon, and then I got triggered again at 1 o'clock, and since then it's just been all up from there.
Nice.
Yeah. And by the way, this is what I mean, by the way, for people who are wondering. this channel that we're in right there, and I know I've got a lot of little weird lines on the channel here. This broke out of the channel. This is a change in structure. It got immediately rejected and came all the way back down to the bottom of the structure. Okay. If it breaks out and it goes above this structure again, then we have a confirmed breakout and you're going to see Tau start to really move. As of right now, we're still in this downward sort of trend. But if you look over here, this downtrend started over here, went all the way over here. We broke that structure over there. So that's done. We were in a downtrend over here. That's done. We're back into an uptrend. So now the question is, what happens next? And if we're in a channel, which we're right here in this channel, we're now breaking above that channel. So that's where you start to see those potentials for a real breakout. If we get a rally right now, the market was down about $35 billion a little while ago. It's only down $20 billion right now, meaning that after the Jerome Powell meeting, people are starting to buy back in. Doesn't mean that we're going to pump, but it does mean that the market looks like it wants to run. So there you go.
So on the thing, aside from Tau, Michael's saying, what are your other holdings?
Oh yeah, Tau, ICP, API3, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. The rest of them, Dev is my highly speculative one. Definity is a highly speculative one. I've got plenty of those. But if there's 5 of them that I'm really thinking that are going to have massive runs, and by the way, I talk about it a lot, but I don't have any, and that's Near Protocol. Near Protocol is another one that I think you can't, like, I don't think you can go wrong with any AI right now. Why do you like ICP so much? Well, I like Tau more because Tau is it's a decentralized monster. I like Tau a little bit better, but ICP, if you go back and start looking through the partnerships that they have, ICP crypto, just go pay attention to what they're doing. And by the way, where was it here? That's not it. That's not it. There is a partnership thing, or they've upgraded a little bit here. Here we go. Pakistan Digital Authority, UNDP, Greater Zurich area. Like, these are real partners that these guys have. Caffeine, Oisy, Open Chat, Axios, the Arab news. They're really big into the Arab area. Mission 70 right here, which, by the way, this is the big one right now. And I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but Mission 70 is targeting, and it's like the whole idea is to, they were inflationary, and now they're reducing that by 70%. That's what Mission 70 means. That's the kind of thing that starts to move markets. Government contracts is what starts to move markets. That's where you get something that's real. And by the way, if you bought ICP at $500 in 2021 when it launched, you're screwed. There's no answer for that. But if you buy it right now and you're buying it at $2, I mean, dude, just take where were we when the market pumped the last time? It was at $10. So, that is an easy 4 or 5x. Also, the money exists in the market for this thing to rally like it did in December of 2024 when it was at $15. So all of these things could end up happening again. Now, again, I don't think that this is $64 because this is Bybit. Bybit got in afterwards. If you go look at some of the original contracts, it went up to $500. I think it does that again. But
So
I do think
this similar to Solana, though, where like the max supply is unlimited, and it's
yes, that is the
targeted.
problem. That is the problem that it has right now. That's why Mission 70 is such an important thing. So if that takes care of itself, let's go, baby. Let's go.
I mean, it's obviously not as big of an issue as Solana because Solana's like a $50 billion market cap and they're only like 1.3. So
yeah, ICP is like $1 billion, $1.5 billion.
Yeah. What's up with that subnet's claim that BitTensor isn't truly decentralized? I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, that's actually a very good question. Sam Dare stole $10 million from everybody. That was Covenant AI, and was it Tars AI? He had 3 different subnets. He stole $10 million from all of those subnets. And by the way, he put out a statement that said that they are not decentralized. Jacob Konst, the co-founder, verified, went through the whole process, showed everybody how decentralized it actually really is, despite what Sam said. Now, what Sam's problem was, first of all, you have to understand Sam Dare. Sam Dare is an unhinged individual, okay? He was always a rogue, but he was friends with Jacob. So Jacob always gave him a little bit more leeway. Well, Sam then decided that he was mad and he didn't like something, okay? So what Sam did was start to meddle around, and that got his emissions reduced. Sam reduced his own emissions. Jacob has nothing to do with emissions. Jacob doesn't control emissions. So when the emissions started to go down, Sam then blamed his friend because his friend's supposed to take care of him. That's what this is. It's two friends fighting over something. So then you take that a step further, and then Sam went into his Telegram, which Jacob, by the way, created the Telegram for him. Listen to what I'm saying here. This guy couldn't even create his own subnet. So what happened was Sam started to ban everybody in the Telegram who was asking questions like, bro, what the fuck is going on? Sam started banning everybody. They started complaining to Jacob. They're like, bro, what is going on here? So Jacob goes in and removes Sam's ability to ban people from Telegram. And Sam Dare then leaves his own Telegram and says that he's done and he's over this. And then Sam Dare takes $10 million in liquidity from Covenant and TARS and moved on and has no place. By the way, it should be noted, Sam is also asking people to contribute for him to launch on another blockchain. So he didn't take the $10 million and move it over. He stole the $10 million and he has now thus disappeared. Jacob is still standing front and center in front of everybody, which is why you're seeing the recovery of Tau right now. And by the way, Tau, Michael asked, why is Tau so much better? Look, it's not. It's about the people, and it's about the subnets, and it's about the building within. Because it is truly decentralized, because it is truly what they said it was. People like Chamath, whatever his fucking name is.
Probably happy to see you.
Yeah. Jensen Huang, who is the CEO of, oh my God. Now I forgot it.
I don't know it either, so it's all good.
It's big, though. It's like it. Oh, he's the CEO of NVIDIA. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
These are the people that are vouching for Tau. Okay. Chath, what is his fucking name? I don't know how to say his name. Chamath Palihaptibi, whatever the fuck it is. All right. So I learned how to say his name and then forgot. I have 51 Tau right now.
Nice. The how are you invested into so many projects? I'll say that over your fairly long career at life, you've been accumulating wealth for X amount of years, and you decide to put those in projects that you think are great for the mid to long term, and you stack, and money comes in all the time. And am I in the ballpark there?
Yeah. And by the way, Tau is going to break out heavy. Tau is going to break out heavy. You can already see it's back in that uptrend. And the question is it going to break to the downside and break out of this channel? And so far, it's been holding support. Now, again, there are still people out there who are like, what about Sam Dare? So there's still going to be people who are going to be like, whatever, over the whole thing. But that's not going to stop this thing from running back up to the top of this channel up here into that $400 or something like that, What's been your biggest win the last 5 to 10 years? I had $1,000 worth of Volt that turned into 57,000 when it pumped. I had $400 in fuck my life. I can't remember the name of it. Lil Puff. I had $400 in Little Puff.
What's
and
a Little
it
Puff?
did a 300x.
Oh my God.
I didn't take it then. I only got 100x out of it, but
Only. Only
Yeah.
made 40K.
Yeah. So I didn't get that. I didn't get that full run. But I was hoping. But I never set a sell order. So, there's just, sometimes you just get a big win. You know what I mean? So those are the biggest.
I think you're getting Michael Gazzellian a little bullish there. I think he's gonna go all in.
Well, I just went long. I just put $10,000 into Tau at $250 and made $1,000 just a few minutes ago, and it's still running. By the way, I'm still up. So,
oh yeah, and that big breakout. What type of multiples? I know it's a huge market cap already, so you're not going to see like 1,000 or even 400x like you did on the other ones. But what type of multiple are we talking about when it breaks out big?
for Tau, oh God, guys, I look. Yeah, here's the thing. When you've got the biggest AI people in the world, and AI is the next big thing, and you've got them talking about you, and you've got them, then you have to start looking at what does a top 10 crypto look like, and is this a top 10 crypto? So the answer to that is absolutely. Right now, Hyperliquid is 10 billion market cap, and right now BitTensor is $2.7 billion market cap. So that's at least a 4x right there, meaning that $257 for BitTensor is probably going to be more like $1,000 for BitTensor. But it gets even better because we're at the bottom of a bearish market, not the bear market, but the bearish market. There was a time, not a few months ago, mind you, not now, but a few months ago, where the top 10 during a big move, was like 30 billion. So for BitTensor to be a top project at 30 billion, that's 10x from where it is right now. That's a $2,500 to $3,000 BitTensor. And that puts it probably in line with the actual valuation that it will eventually have. And look, I mean, anything could happen when the market starts to really soar, but is it better than Solana? Yep. Is it better than Tron? 100%. They're at 30 and 47 billion right now. So what is the value of BitTensor, the fully decentralized autonomous network? By the way, 128 subnets? No. They've just upgraded to 256 subnets. So more people are able to build, creating more competition, creating more buyers, creating more markets, creating more energy, creating more people talking about BitTensor. They are doing almost everything right now. So yeah, BitTensor is going to explode at some point.
Biggest crypto loss. I'm going to assume he means loss that you had locked in, not paper losses that still have the potential to go back up and turn into profit.
Bencoin. I lost $70,000 on Bencoin.
What's Bencoin?
Ben Armstrong. Ben and I were friends.
Oh, gotcha.
I had $70,000 in Bencoin. When I cashed out, it was $1,000. So I lost $69,000 on.
Everyone comment nice down below for the 69. Yeah. But damn, yeah. My Gazzellian he's been talking to me about OMI for I think like years now. and I don't think he's invested yet. So he's definitely doing his due diligence. And honestly, it's better.
Yeah, by the way, Ben is under a doctor's care right now.
Oh, he's like not well. Okay.
No, he is not well at all. So just so everybody understands, I think I'm free to say this at this point. Ben's had a psychotic break. So he doesn't think any of us are real anymore. He doesn't think the world is real. He believes that he's dead. Yeah, Ben has lost the plot. He is in very bad shape.
Well, I mean, are any of us real? Like, I feel like Tom Bilyeu had a video come out the other day saying like, hey, this isn't real. The world is a simulation. And he's not like kind of like a crackpot, nobody. Like but just because you have millions of subscribers doesn't mean that you're not crazy. Like clearly there are people that get to that level because they're crazy. But I don't know, maybe there's something to that. Not to align myself with someone that's had a psychotic break and completely fell off, but I feel like there might be something to that. Us being simulations, ones and zeros. Please join us in the OMI Whale Discord. I don't even go on the OMI Well Discord. It is there. You can go to the Akomi Fam Discord. I don't know what you need to get in there. I don't know how much, but you can get there pretty easily because the million OMI is like $140. 10 million is 14. Yeah, like 14 grand for 100 million. So if you wanted, I feel like though I could keep you abreast of every situation without needing to do that if you only want to do a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not a big, like, I don't like getting in chat. I get into chats and then I feel obligated. So I'm in a few chats. I'm in like dev chat. I'm in like some of these chats here, and I don't even want to be in there most of the time anymore, especially because it's a dead market.
Time for 5. Yeah, I mean, well, we can never time the bottom consistently. I mean, there's some people that, like, oh, hey, I happen to get in here, and a lot of times it's lucky. Sometimes like, well, no, based on the blah, 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 they can like kind of estimate like, yeah, this is where the bottom should be, and they get very close or actually get it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's when you want to accumulate, right? When stuff's like not pumping, because if it's already pumped like a 4 or 5x. It's
right. This is the time to buy. That's why I got into Tau at 250 today, because I think it's the time to buy. Like I was hoping, like, I have my fingers crossed. I'll be honest with you guys. I have my own Telegram, and it's free. It's called Bleeves Official, and I talk about comic books. I talk about my chats are crypto trades, fitness, wrestling, memes, content, politics, comic books, TV, movies, music, Chicago Bears.
I didn't know you were a huge fan of wrestling, that you talk about it, because I don't know if we've really talked about it that much. You see WrestleMania?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Okay. Last question for Randy. His relationship with Gary Vee and VeVe these days, their partner fell through and then never spoke with him again. They actually never had a partnership. They were talking in like April of like 2021, maybe 2022. And from what I understand, he had wanted, because he's got so many people watching him, and he has so many people that he can command, like on any live stream, on any tweet post, like he wanted what he thought was a fair amount of money, and I think it was. And VeVe's like, listen, you're great, we love you, that just doesn't make sense for us to do that. We can get not maybe as many, but we could probably get that much advertising or whatever just for a much cheaper price, and they kind of could have. That didn't really help because it was 2022, everything was on the way down anyway, so it's probably best that they didn't do that. I talked to Gary a couple of times over the years. Once was later that year at VCon, the other was just last year. I happened to, he was at some card show house, and we, he gave me a couple minutes, actually recorded it. He let me record it. He was cool. So he respects them. Honestly, I don't know if he'll ever say this, but he probably has either some of the token or some of the grails. Like he probably has like first appearance Mickey Mouse and Spider-Man and Superman and all that. But his VeeFriends is just, that's his baby. And obviously he's smart enough to know that, like, hey, a win for anyone in crypto, whether it be punks, pudgies, VeeFriends, or VeVe, is going to be good for the whole space. And anytime a project, someone scams or rugs or a project dies, it's bad for the space. So he's probably silently rooting them on, because you want to see other people win, because that brings legitimacy to the space. But I don't think, unless someone asks him like directly, I don't think he's ever going to purposely bring up VeVe, because like he'd probably just want to bring attention to his project more than anything. What do you got for me over there?
World Liberty Financial just fell off a cliff.
They had somebody that they were partnered with that was part of a crypto scam ring or something like that. And I think that's why it went crash.
Yeah. I did a video yesterday talking about Wendy O. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with these people anymore. Like,
what happened with crypto Wendy O? I've only had like 2 conversations there, so I don't really know her that well.
Yesterday, Forbes put out what basically is a hit piece on World Liberty Financial.
Okay.
So then Eric Trump went in and was like, "Oh, you're fucking lying," and blah, 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 blah. But Forbes was like, no, we've sourced everything.
Okay.
And then Crypto Wendy O then replies like, "I can't believe you would do this to Bitcoin and altcoins." Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, why are you defending? Look, I'm not saying that everything that Trump touches is a scam. I'm not saying that everything financially that Eric Trump touches is a scam. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that everybody here, by the way, I'm using MAGA math. Everybody who invested in World Liberty Financial at $1 is now down 1,200%, which means if you put $1,000 in there, you now owe World Liberty Financial $12,000. Now, if you're not a moron and you actually know how math works, you're down 93%. But that whole thing with that fucking Robert Kennedy doing the went down 600% or whatever stupid shit he was saying, like that was out of control. Like that is so fucking wild.
So who bought in at $1? I feel like a lot of
everybody, Justin
Sun,
everybody bought in at $1.
That was the pre-sale.
That was the pre-sale.
Oh, what market cap or valuation was it at $1? Because you had to wait like a year or two, right, in order to get access to those funds.
Yep. So according to this, it would be probably like 2 billion.
Okay.
So, oh no, the current market cap is 2 billion.
Oh, so it would have been heavy, like 100 billion, because total supply is 100.
Market cap at launch, it looks like all time 5 billion.
Okay. So it must have launched at like 5 cents, right?
No, it launched at $1.
Oh, they just added more tokens into circulation.
Well, so what you got in the pre-sale was probably a little bit different. Like you probably got a discount on the pre-sale. They probably all got in at 10 cents or 20 cents or a quarter,
gotcha.
like that.
Okay, so
but the launch price was $1, and then everybody who got in just started dumping on it and selling.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Everybody who bought when it launched is down 93%. Everybody who's in it's probably down about 65, 66%.
Damn, they got wrecked.
Yep.
What number is that? Oh, it's still number 38?
Oh yeah, it's a big project.
Damn, it's still that. Oh man. All right. I didn't expect it to be that high still. Guess it is. So we just got a new thing. So Bitcoin had gone down to 74.9 earlier today. And it just looks like it hath touched 76 now. So I guess that kind of knee-jerk reaction that people have, I guess it's over.
Yep.
Can't wait OMI to hit top 10. OMI hitting top 10 would be insane. Even, let's say if everything else in crypto stayed the same and nothing moved and a lot of it went into OMI, you would need OMI at a $16 billion market cap to get in the top 10. That's and that's if everything stayed the same. Like, let's say OMI does by some miracle chance reach that. I mean, in a blow off top, I don't think anything in the top 50 is going to be like, or maybe the top 25 is going to be below 16 billion. Like, there's going to be so much money in there. I mean, OMI is at like a $40 million market cap, give or take, something, whatever, give or take a few million. 100x. So get us to like 1.4 cents. You know, that's it's 4 billion. And yeah, I think that can work. But to do like 1,000x, you know, to 14 billion, like that. And I'm not saying that it can't do that. Like if you run the scenario 1,000 times, I'm sure there's a few times that it can. It doesn't deserve to, I don't think it will ever justify that. Not this bull run. I think eventually in the future, as digital collectibles take people move into AR and VR over the next decade or so, yeah, absolutely, it can totally justify that. But this blow off top bull run is that would be, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen. There's going to be meme coins that run for no reason. There's going to be coins where the CEO is locked up and that'll run for no reason. There's going to be a bunch of tomfoolery, but can only be one of those. Maybe I would not bet, or I would bet against it being hitting the top 10. I wouldn't bet against it being in the top 100 though. Maybe in the top 100. That's my theory there. Just kind of want to bring the what's that called? Bring us back down to reality a little bit there. I'd love to be wrong. So yeah, the Bitcoin's over at, so I guess the panic was over. In that, oh yeah, before we talking about WrestleMania. Favorite female wrestler currently on the roster.
My favorite, in terms of storytelling, because like I'm a storytelling person. My favorite from a storytelling perspective, I suppose, is Chelsea Green.
Why her?
Chelsea Green is the best storyteller that they have on their roster. She tells a story in the ring. She tells a story outside of the ring. She sacrifices herself for the betterment of the other ladies. And she's just absolutely nailing everything that she does. So by far, Chelsea Green. I don't know that she's ever a world title person. I don't know if she's ever, I don't know what her, I don't know what it looks like ultimately. When she comes back, Bianca Belair is just the same. Like Bianca Belair is also one of those people. Just really good storyteller, really good in the ring, really physically gifted. You know what I mean? Like those two to me are the top. I like Rhea Ripley.
Oh, I love her.
But she's also shtick now.
What does shtick
mommy's
mean
always on top, and all she's worried about is playing back the hits. Like, and not that everybody doesn't do it, but she's just kind of, I like her, but I don't love her. I don't like her character, but Lyra Valkyria, man, she is really good in the ring. She's really good in the ring. I like Sol Ruka. I do not like her. that soul snatcher that she does. That is the most irresponsible bullshit move in all of wrestling. The only thing that's even close to that is some of the Javon Evans OG cutter.
I don't even know that.
That's fucking ridiculous. Like, here's the thing. Every move that you do does take some coordination from your opponent. But if your opponent has to jump up in the air and spread themselves out like this and flatten themselves in order for you to do your move, that is the stupidest thing to watch. The soul snatcher, like she runs up to the top of the ring and then she does that flip and then she catches them for like the stunner. The move looks beautiful. It's awesome. But that requires too much coordination. It's going to look stupid at some point, and you can't keep that up.
It hurts. Like it looks like it hurts her more than anything. Like
probably,
but she is so athletic. She is so like that. That is at some point. I feel like female Jeff Hardy goes over the top of something. Like I love her.
I'll tell you who I thought, like, I mean, it was nuclear the other night, was JC Jane. I don't even know who she is. She's in NXT. She's from NXT, but she showed up on SmackDown, and I mean, the crowd was out of their mind hating her.
They popped up.
Oh my God. Like, I was like, who is this person? As far as the men's division right now, I mean, obviously Braun Breaker is crazy good. Oba Femi. God damn it, man.
I didn't think that was Brock's last match with him.
It's not.
Are you sure? It seemed pretty final.
No. As a matter of fact, insiders, there were a few people that kind of let the cat out of the bag, if you will, that you're going to see the match SummerSlam is where he's going to actually retire. And Gunther's going to retire him.
I heard that, but then I heard that Brock also didn't want that, and that's why he's like kind of made it so that WrestleMania would have been like.
I heard all that too,
Yeah.
and the insiders at WWE are like, no, he's doing the job at SummerSlam. The one thing that Brock doesn't mind doing is putting people over. He lost to Goldberg in 30 seconds. I mean, come on. Brock Lesnar will do whatever's best for business. The one thing that you can say, like, and Brock Lesnar, by the way, should be in the Hall of Fame for fucking WWE by the time this is done. He has done more for the other people in WWE than, I mean, John Cena put a lot of people over.
Yeah, love him too.
But I mean, he's done a lot. He has done a lot.
I love the feud between Goldberg and Brock because that had was it Goldberg or was it Ryan? I think it was Goldberg that I think it was No Way Out 2004 where Goldberg comes like, so Eddie is like getting like smacked around, Eddie Guerrero by Brock Lesnar, and then Goldberg comes out and just like spears him, and then Eddie like gives him like a DDT, does a frog splash, and it caused Eddie to win like the WWE title or the heavyweight title, whatever it was at that point. And that was greatest. Yeah, that was like, oh, I loved him. But I hate Lesnar because he broke the streak, man. And like, oh, I love Taker so much. And that just, oh God, that was awful. I hated that.
I tell you, one of the funniest and greatest wrestling things that I've ever seen was there was a time back in WCW where Eddie and Chavo were going at it, his brother.
Yeah.
And Chavo is trying to find Eddie and he can't find Eddie. Chavo comes to the ring with a box. And he's like, I'm trying to find Eddie, so I'm going to set a trap for him out here in this ring. I'm going to get him. Chavo reaches into the box, pulls out a plate with a fucking burrito on the plate, puts it in the middle of the ring, puts the box on top of it with a stick so that it's open with a string, goes out of the ring holding the string, hides around the corner, and has a mic, and he starts going, here, Eddie, 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 Eddie. Here, Eddie, Eddie, Eddie. Oh my God, this is like the craziest shit I've ever seen. And then Eddie comes out, and of course he's mad, but he's like walking kind of conspicuously, like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And then he gets out there and then he beats up his brother. And that was one of the funniest, most incredible. Eddie Guerrero, even Chavo, but Eddie Guerrero was so good in so many ways, at his character, at wrestling, at all of it.
That feud with JBL, where he this was get him like canceled today, but there was one thing where JBL is like at the border and he's like rounding up Mexicans to like deport them. And then like Eddie comes in like his lowrider, like distracts him, whatever. That shit was hysterical. Like late 90s to like the mid 2000s, like they went so what do you call it? They just went so out of pocket. And like I remember one, it was DX, but it was like later DX with just Triple H and Shawn Michaels. I think Edge was like a special DX guest, and they had Randy Orton out there, and they're like, Randy Orton is the biggest face in the gay community, and they start showing him like half naked and like a towel around him, and and just shit that would get canceled. And I love that stuff. I think that's why our humor is so great.
Yeah, I'm watching. I watch AEW as well, so you know I keep up with Monday Raw, Wednesday AEW, Friday SmackDown. I don't watch the smaller shows. I don't watch TNA. I don't watch. There's only so much time, you know.
Yeah, I just watch clips on TikTok, like to be honest, because like it takes out a lot of the stuff. And like like you still get the stories. Like Liv Morgan, as far as storytelling goes, like is just
it's amazing.
And she had that, bro, that I don't know if you follow Stephanie, what's her name, Vacker or whatever her name is on Twitter. So after she like attacked Liv, and Liv had like this huge like bubble knot like on her forehead.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then Stephanie tweeted out like a baby doll with an indent in its head, and I was like, oh my god, that's hysterical. I love how they're all getting like active on Twitter. Becky Lynch is like a
Donald
female
Trump.
Irish version of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. That's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had in wrestling, man. There really is.
Right. I'm going to WrestleMania next year. I'm going hard. I'm going. Yeah, that's going to be a
Saudi
thing.
Arabia.
Oh, that's where it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Nick Khan yesterday said, wait until you find out where 2028 WrestleMania is going to be. Like, I have no idea, but he was teasing people that it was going to be something crazy.
So I think what was it in, so it was like the Royal Rumble or something where it was in Saudi Arabia and the women had to like cover up, and every time the women were wrestling, there was like no one in the audience. They went to like buy concessions. It's like,
yeah, that was Crown Jewel. That was the first time that they did it there, but they've since changed their policy. So
okay, good. Because I was saying like
the first time they went there, Sami Zayn couldn't go.
Why?
Because he's Syrian. And they don't allow Syrians.
Damn.
Yeah.
Who is it that dressed as like, was it Sabu that dressed as like a Taliban guy in like 2002?
Sabu was awesome.
Dude,
I used to love Sabu.
He was wild.
That's, by the way, that's one of the guys, like, man, like I wish that somebody like Sabu was teaching these people today. Sabu understood the storytelling. He understood like the violence that people want to do, and he understood how to make it part of a wrestling match. And so many people today see everything that Sabu did in the old days or what New Jack did in the old days. They look at all these violent moments and they think that the violence was the important part. It wasn't the important part. That was the end of the important part. You know what I mean? Like so many people just don't understand it anymore. And then, I don't want to say this bad about Tony Khan, but like Tony Khan, whoever the production team is for AEW, if you ever watch an AEW match and it's like he always has like these 6-man, 8-man, 10-man tag team matches just to get everybody on the show.
Yeah.
And you can see them sitting on their knee, like outside of the ring, like they're injured, waiting like this for their moment, for their spot. And then everybody has a spot fest where everybody does all their moves and shit, like, and just one after the other. It's just ridiculous. But the ridiculous part is not everybody doing their move. The ridiculous part is that you can see the guys all standing like this, waiting at, like, change your camera angle so that you don't catch those guys. They do it in WWE too, but WWE is smart enough not to let the cameraman catch that kind of shit. You know what I mean? And Tony Khan hasn't realized that. So,
because I remember a couple episodes of like Raw or wherever where like John Cena, Kurt Angle, Stone Cold, like Edge, they're all in there and they're all doing their moves, and it's awesome. But right. Yeah, you don't see them like looking and like waiting for it. You just So that I hadn't thought about that.
It's really just camera. It's just camera angles. They just need a better production team. They need better camera angles. They just don't get it right, and they don't seem to care, and that makes it look cheap compared to WWE.
No, good point. But yeah, I haven't been to a wrestling event in a while. We'll definitely go WrestleMania. I mean, unless crypto decides to kind of poop, if it continues going down, I'm not going anywhere. We'll see. I have again, raise money for daCat at a good valuation, and we'll have. I think I'll get it to be worth $1 million by ideally by the end of the year. But the next year, I'll definitely justify it. Before WrestleMania next year. It'll happen. So that'll be good. Get that bread. When you look at companies like a lot of like crypto, a lot of people just care about like the pump and like that's it. But Have you ever taken a look at any of the companies behind the car? Like I know you've taken a look at DMA Link that's behind Definity, Boomstar Money. But do you care what people have on their balance sheets, or is it just like, bro, I just want the token to pump and that's it? I don't really care what the what they have in their war chest or what's on their P&L.
I mean, I think it should be important if you want a long-term investment. You should know exactly what they're doing. But when it's short-term, like crypto, I don't really care.
Okay. I am. I have a caller, Miss. Is there anything you want to go over here before we end it? Because I got to get to a couple of things before.
No, I'm gonna go eat. Matter of fact,
same. I'm gonna
go eat and do my Chicago Bears stuff because I haven't made a video in a few hours, and that Chicago Bears stuff is blowing up. So,
oh yeah, it's the time. How'd they do in the draft?
I want to say that I really like what they did in the draft. It wasn't exactly what I think they needed. I think there were some pieces that were missing. I think they, I would have liked to see a big defensive tackle, but the ones that were available probably, you look at the best available is Caden McDonald or Peter Woods, but they're not really game changers. So, I mean, maybe it's best that you don't take that defensive tackle. They took Dylan Thieneman with the number 25 pick, which was amazing. Like he is a player. Then they took Xavion Thomas, which is in the 4th round. He's a burner. I don't know, I mean, we like our fast guys. This guy's a 4.28 40, super fast. 2nd round, they took Logan Jones, who is their center of the future. He's an Iowa guy, and Iowa guys, Kirk Friends or whatever, Kirk Ferenc. I don't know how to say his name. But Kirk Ferenc seems to put out some really good linemen in Iowa, and this guy was the Remington winner as best lineman in the country, stuff like that. So, 3rd round they took Sam Roush, who is another big 6'6" tight end. So they upgraded their offense tremendously, and then in the defense they got Malik Muhammad. He was the 4th round. Xavion was the 3rd round. They got Malik Muhammad in the 4th round, and then they got some guy by the name of Caden Barnett. The guy's nickname is the Vanilla Gorilla. I made a video of it, and it got like 50,000 views. Again, that's why I love my Chicago Bears content. But let me show you Caden. Like you're gonna look at him, you'll be like, you gotta be fucking kidding me! Like this guy is. Where are we at here? Oh, here he is. Okay, I got it. Boom. Everybody I know says, "Is this your son?" I've had people asking me this question for
the Vanilla Gorilla.
The Vanilla Gorilla. He's a tackle out of Wyoming, and I don't know if he's a great player or not, but if they like him, I mean, they gave him $277,000 as an undrafted free agent. That is gigantic for an undrafted free agent. That's the largest guarantee for an undrafted free agent of all time.
I grew up a Jets fan, so paid attention. They had 3 first-round picks, so and I think they have a bunch of first-round picks next year too. So building years, I don't know what they'll do this year. But I saw this Nigerian dude get drafted by the Eagles, and apparently he's like never played football before. He's just a beast, and he just destroyed it at the combine, and he just like he crushed it. Have you ever seen that before? That someone that just with no football experience, but is just a tank, a fast tank, goes in and gets drafted, and it wasn't like it was like a late pick too. I don't think it was like a super early pick.
Yeah, Uar Bernard, 7th round pick. He's part of the International Player Pathway. He was chosen for a 4.63 40-yard dash and a 39-inch vertical. That's gigantic for a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
That's at the top range of defensive tackles. So Discovered through the NFL's International Player Pathway, previously played basketball and trained at camps in Nigeria. 6'4", 306 pounds, 6% body fat. Defensive tackle, born in Lagos, Nigeria, drafted by the Eagles. I don't know. I mean, maybe the guy never sees the field. Who knows? But it's interesting when you reach, when you're in the 7th round, that's what you're doing anyway. Most of those people are never going to see anything. So, might be an interesting thing.
Interesting to see. Anyway, we'll go get the spread. Guys will be back live at 8 p.m. and I will catch you all later.
All right, man. Talk to you.